Hi, I'm Saremy, and this is my first Friday Sews. I learned about this from a viewer, and I really wanted to join in so that maybe I can meet some other sewing related YouTube content creators. I love Instagram, but let's be honest, our media is over here, and so I'd love to make some more pals in the sewing community in YouTube. So I hope I do this right. I don't really know a whole lot about Friday sews, and it's been kind of a packed week, so I thought I'd just try and jump in here. I'm not typically a vlogger, so mostly my content is live streaming sewing, and it's very interactive, and people can ask me questions and ask me to demonstrate something. I cut a project out, and then we sew it in usually two parts, like sewing part one, sewing part two. So it's like a 3-day thing. And I also make short uploaded how-to videos, on just specific types of steps. So that's mostly what I do. And I've only been doing this for about 2.5 years. But I've been sewing a long time. I've been in the garment industry. I went to design school. I've worked as a designer and a pattern drafter in the garment industry. I've had my own line of accessories. I've had my own factory. I've freelanced for 11 years doing design and pattern drafting as well. So I've seen a lot of stuff, which is really awesome, and I'm pretty into just sewing whatever comes my way and doing pattern drafting and fitting and all that stuff. Like it's all pretty fun to me. And the types of stuff I sew is probably would be considered like American sportswear. Like I love jeans and structured things, top stitching. I like hard projects too. I don't sew a ton of hard projects on my stream just because I like it to be as accessible as possible to everybody. And I do like knits and stuff. I don't sew a whole lot of knits, and I think it's because my serger, which is like a serger cover stitch combo, is acting a little bit persnickety lately about the cover stitch. So it's making me shy away from knits a little bit, which is making me now like kind of like, no way, I'm not letting this stop me. So I'm going to double down and figure this out. So this year, I think my sewing is going to be mostly interested, like the things I'm going to probably dive deeper in is doing more knits, getting a cover stitch machine probably, and also adding some feet to my industrial. So I primarily sew an industrial machine, and it has electronics as well. So some of the feet aren't really compatible with it, but I am kind of interested in trying to find some, because it's just a straight stitch machine. It doesn't do anything kind of fancy, but I saw this buttonhole attachment that will move back and forth and kind of create the zigzag. Haven't found one compatible with my machine yet, but I'm kind of interested. So those are the kinds of things I'm thinking about exploring this year. So let's see. I live in California. It's a kind of a Mediterranean climate where I live. I've lived all over. I grew up on the block next to Disneyland, and then I spent 17 years in Humboldt County, which is in the Redwoods on the coast, and it was gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. And I loved it. I loved living there. I thought I'd live there forever. And then my husband got a job, and we moved to still Northern California, but not really very far north. So we're kind of in the middle of the state and more eastern. So it's definitely warmer here in the summer by a long shot. I can wear dresses and shorts now, which is really awesome. And lots of great food is grown around here. Walnuts and almonds are like one of 5 places in the world that grows almonds. Olives, we have 100-year-old olive trees on our property. Stone fruits, peaches and apricots and all that, lots of good stuff. So it's a very agriculturally rich area, and I really like being around where your food's grown and stuff. I like being in touch with that kind of thing. So we recently, this past year, moved to a more rural place to where we first relocated to when we moved to this region. And I feel like moving here wasn't a great fit for us, and we didn't realize that until we kind of moved to this current place. And this place definitely speaks more to all of us, my whole family. It's more rural, and it's got the capability to grow things and be a little bit more interactive with what's going on outside. There's a couple of creeks on the property, which is really awesome. Mandarin trees, a pond with bullfrogs, huge bullfrogs, which I can't believe we just walked by and they're like sitting right there. And a third one just showed up, so that's pretty cool. It's also a very fire-prone area. And I don't talk a whole lot about that, but it will come up sometimes. And yeah, it's just a beautiful place. Very lush and green because of these two creek beds, whereas most of the properties around us are a little bit more volcanic and drier. And the people who originally built this house loved agave and cactus, but they also loved an English garden. So it's quite the juxtaposition. I've raised a lot of livestock, especially poultry. I've worked on a farm in Colorado, and I have dealt with predators before, like raccoons, foxes, skunks, things like that. And they were definitely a pain. Actually, the neighbor dog was worse, But I've never had this array of predators all in one place. So we have all of those, and we also have bobcats, mountain lions, rattlesnakes, poison oak, and the agave and the cactus are also kind of a factor as well. So we're kind of still getting used to this place, and it's been really awesome. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm so much happier here. And I relocated my office to about 5 miles away as well. So that's pretty cool. All right, what else about me? Let's see. I love black licorice and watermelon and ice cream. I have a big sweet tooth. And I love audiobooks, and I listen to a lot of them. And I play video games. That's one funny thing about me, probably, that's not typical. I learned about live streaming through gaming, and I currently play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I just love the historical parts of that game. It's really cool. And I play Fortnite, which sounds, I know, pretty nutty, but I love it. And I also play Rogue Company, which is also a 4v4 player versus player. I'm terrible at all these games, by the way. And let's see, I love really good story-driven games, like The Last of Us is my all-time favorite game, and Part 2 I absolutely loved, and Uncharted, things like that. So I love those really beautiful story-driven games. There's just suck you in. It's like being a part of the book and inside of it. I love it. So let's see, what else? So because this is kind of a vlog style, it's kind of weird to be talking even like so upfront personally about myself. I mean, those things kind of come out naturally in the live stream sometimes, but it's not something that's not why I'm here. I'm here to talk sewing usually and be with other people to talk sewing and like how to do things and learn from you guys, and same thing. I hope I can teach and pass some things on. But I have been thinking I'm always thinking about something, but obviously, right, as far as like what are kind of the issues that are tickling me. And lately the thing I've been thinking a lot about is age, because I'm going to be 50 next month, and I get to be part of the Sew Over 50 community, which I love. Their Instagram and my Instagram started at the same time, so we were recommended to each other. So I've kind of seen their community blossom and grow into this amazing support network for people over 50. And I can't wait to be a part of it myself. I'm kind of one of those people that I don't really fret about things like milestones like that, or worry about things like, I just barrel towards it and do it, because that's kind of my way of dealing with it. I have plenty of anxieties. I'm definitely introverted, but the way I kind of use it to my advantage is I don't procrastinate, like certain things I do, but in general, I just kind of go for it so that it gets it over with, That's kind of how I feel about turning 50. I don't mind. You can't avoid it, right? And I think all of our lives, we're always thinking about age. No matter how you feel about it, it's always on your mind. You're always like wanting to unlock that adulthood milestone, or your driver's license, or whatever it is, And the same thing, like maybe you dread those decades, like the 30, the 40, the 50. Maybe you're looking forward to 65 or something like that. And I think a lot about it because here I am, this content creator on YouTube, and obviously the loudest voices that get heard are the younger voices generally, right? And I'm not trying to become one of those content creators, but I do think about where we are in as part of being relevant to the community just because we're over a certain age. So I'm very open-minded, to be honest, and I just like thinking about these things in more of a not what is right and wrong capacity, but more of like, that's interesting how this person feels about it and this person feels about it. And there's not really a right or wrong for me. It's just an experience. And so I think about that. I've been thinking a lot about age, maybe because I'm turning 50. I don't think so. I always think about it, and I do spend most of my social time when I'm hanging out and talking with people that are half my age, so it's kind of a different world for them, so it's really interesting. My daughter's 18, and I can actually remember being that age and kind of going out in the world really well, and I really loved it. I loved the autonomy and the independence of becoming an adult and going out in the world and forging my path, And I don't think I knew to be worried about certain things that I should have been worried about. And there's been plenty of other things I do, right? So yeah, I think about age and just being relevant is the word that kind of pops into my head. And what I bring to the table as far as skills, I love being that 20-year-old or that 30-year-old. I was that one kind of, hey, can we do it this way? Can we do it that way? Can we do it this way? Challenging those things, right? But you needed those people around you that had the years of experience to know what maybe you shouldn't try and what shouldn't work. And I think that they're just so intertwined, and they're both so valuable. And I don't know, it's just something on my mind. So that's one thing. The other thing I've been thinking about is style and age. And I think because I make so many garments and I really don't need any more garments, but I want to keep making things for the stream and making things that people are interested in that might help them, or maybe they're interested in that garment, so maybe I can help them do it. And I try and be as size inclusive as possible, but sometimes I can't be because it's the pattern I have or whatever. And I just think about style, what is it why we think someone's dated in their styling, but that more I'm kind of getting to that point where I don't want to think about that anymore. I just, I've always kind of had the same style all my life. So why do I want to reinvent it? Why wouldn't I just work on the game I'm playing, or the fence I want to build to keep my dogs safe from predators, rather than shopping and doing stuff like that. So that's another thing I've been thinking about, especially juxtaposed with age and what we shift our focus on. I try and make clothes that I'm going, and I even when I buy clothes, I like to look at clothes being there for the rest of my life. I hand knit sweaters. I spend 40 to 60 hours on a hand knit sweater, and you bet I really want to have that for the rest of my life. So I try and do things that are more timeless. I'm not much on trends and fashion forward stuff, but I appreciate it and I'm inspired by it. I just don't look to it, right? So those are just some of the things floating in my mind right now, and I'm not a very eloquent speaker about those things, but I do love exploring those things, because I think everybody has their little things that are kind of tickling the back of their head about it. So anyway, it was so fun to do this, and I will hopefully get the hang of it and understand what is the right outline or parameters for Friday sews. But hope to meet some of you, and if you're ever in my live stream, please say hi. You don't have to, you can lurk too. So it's been such an amazing week, and I love to end it with this Friday sews experience. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.